You know what's cool? Castles. Castles are cool. But not just castles, legends too. Legends about heroes, handsome heroes who love their horses, who take their horses on adventures. Brave heroes who fight dragons. Dragons aren't real. For heroes, it depends on who you ask. But castles? They're real, all right. This is me, Grant Whitaker. I've loved castles my entire life, so I decided to make a film about one. We set out to document one of the most famous castles of all time, Drachenfels. The mountain itself, Drachenfels, literally translates to Dragon Rock. Die Nibelungen, the legend of a hero who slew a dragon and became invincible as a result, was set here.
It's only a couple kilometers, so we should be able to maintain this pace and energy the whole time. Probably. So, we're about a quarter of a kilometer up the trail.
The hike is not easy, especially for those who are pudgy and vulnerable to sweats. For your convenience, donkeys are readily available at the base of the mountain. By foot or by ass, the march up the mountain is jam-packed with lovely scenery. Oh shit, what up, me?
This is what it's all about. Nature.
If you're not up for the hike thing, there's a tram for ninnies and people afraid of swamp ass. Fearing no ass, we ascended to something out of a fairy tale. Schloss Drachenberg. An absolutely picture-perfect Disney-style neo-Gothic wonderland. With towering towers and powerful parapets, the sandstone-colored castle looks positively gorgeous. A few decades ago, Hitler Youth used to summer here. Now it's much more respectable as a venue for weddings. And it's no wonder that it's so popular for that purpose. Between the handsome grounds and the lush gardens, everything is just right for such a joyous occasion. Just look at these stags! I don't know why they're here, but they're cool as hell. Drachenberg is the absolute picture-perfect image of a legendary castle. Looking like something is one thing, however. Being something, well, that's another thing entirely. Places this picturesque don't just happen, they're made that way. The Schloss is actually not even 200 years old. It was built in the late 1800s to house royalty, but it spent most of its lifespan entertaining tourists. The legends Drachenberg evokes are far, far older than that. What keeps the legends alive, however, is only found at the summit. The hike continues, and this is where things start to get really pretty. Or once again, you could be boring and take the tram all the way. I'll say this for the tram, it's the fastest way to the top. Well, not quite the top. There's a tourist center first, filled with helpfully nosy tourists.
Here we are.
The Drachenfels.
The Drachenfels.
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 Drachenfels. Yes.
Yeah.
Drachenfels
Berg. Yeah.
Berg.
Berg.
And the Petersburg. And the underground.
Petersburg is behind.
Yeah, near
other
the
side.
Lions.
It was from the German government, the guest house. The old guest house of the German government.
Wasn't that unsolicited interruption helpful? There's tons of other stuff up there too, of course, like a machine that turns coins into useless coins. There's also a store with a wide variety of overpriced knickknacks. Now, if you look to your lower left here, you can see they have a lot of different stories about how Siegfried killed the dragon. They got this one where they're like Siegfried probably shot him with an arrow. And they got this one where like Siegfried ran over him with a horse and stabbed them. And what you can tell very plainly from these is that Siegfried beat the shit out of this dragon. It's an unfortunate reality that historical sites are expensive to maintain, and so we must in turn offload a little cash at places like this to keep them funded. To do my part, I chipped in for a little Drachenfels brand wine. Vintage 2012? It made the rest of the tourist center way easier to swallow. And swallow I did. A lot. There's also a puppet show, a reminder that this site is not only cultivated for drunks, but for children too. Like this little kid who put his own spin on the Drachenfels legend.
And, well, I heard, like, a story, but it's kind of, like, weird with dragon slayers. But all the dragons gather on that hill there to celebrate the first dragon's birthday here.
Oh no.
Nobody tell the kid the dragon died.
I'll admit, the stuff down here is fun for kids, but it isn't what really draws people in. The real attraction is Castle Drachenfels. Almost 1,000 years old now, the Drachenfels was built by the decree of the Archbishop of Cologne. It stood vigil over the Rhine for centuries until it was abandoned. Swedish troops would later destroy it while it sat unoccupied. The castle fell into ruin, and even the mountain itself, an ancient stone quarry, began to collapse under its own weight. Drachenfels still drew in visitors in its ruined state, until eventually an effort was made to restore and maintain the site following World War II. Thanks to their protection, we'll be able to enjoy the castle for a long time to come. When you come here, you can choose to meditate alone on the weight of history surrounding this place. But I think that it's much better to go with a friend.
You know what? It's not so bad up here.
Not that bad.
Yeah, not that bad.
The history alone might be interesting to buffs like me, but that's not what brings people here. They come because castles are awesome. Heroes are awesome. Wizards are awesome. We know they aren't real, but the effect they have on us definitely is. Kings and heroes, crashing, clashing armies, and castles like Drachenfels are touchstones to our imagined past. When I look up at one, so grand and mighty, it's enough to make me believe in magic again. Just for a little while.